is it outrage? Is it like, rage bait or whatever? But I don't know. What else is the purpose of utilizing those sorts of imageries if it's not even going to be impactful or to get people to like talk about it on a more profound level? I think that it's just, again, why? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you didn't already know, act like you know, because it's not as though. So let's hop right into this video. So today we are going to be reacting to a video by Honest, and this one is called Are Gen Z Pop Stars in Trouble? I wonder why. Pose that question because I haven't heard anything, but anyways, before we hop in, you already know what to do. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and without further ado, let's just hop right into this video.
Are Gen Z pop stars in a little bit of trouble? I've noticed that so many Gen Z pop stars are going through a low or slow point right now. There are many thriving though, but I wanted to talk about some of these careers and this current point in their careers. I followed all these people's careers and have taken an interest in various things they've done. The people I'm going to talk about are not all exclusively born in Gen Z, because we just don't have that anymore. But they all have a Gen Z fan base and are a part of Gen Z pop culture, at the very least. The first person I wanted to talk about is Lil Nas X. Lil Nas X has the looks, he has the gift of growing up on the internet and being in tune with meme culture.
To be fair, I have not heard of any Lil Nas X news except for when who was it? Tyla was winning her first Grammy for Make Me Sweat, Make Me Hotter, that song on stage. And there was like this whole hoopla about how Halle Bailey was not about to hold on to her, what's it called, her reward, her trophy or whatever. And people were like, wow, like, yeah, who do you think you are? There was like this whole drama, but it was so dumb and so flat and so empty. Like there was like no reason for it. But that was like the last time I heard from him. But that doesn't mean, because that's the last time I heard of him, that he's not up to something big. But let's find out more what he's been up to.
He knows how to promote himself, and maybe even to his own detriment. For someone that is so in tune with the internet, I do not understand how he felt to read the room when it came to his J. Christ single release. Which utilized a lot of religious imagery and compared his musical comeback to Jesus Christ. The only thing is, he had done a very similar rollout with Montero, and I think the best thing he could have done was lead with a very good non-shock factor release, because he had done it back to back, and then he returns with something that he's already done. And it's like, have you run out of ideas already? And to top it off, the song was not good and doesn't show growth for him as an artist. I really do fear that he boxed himself in with this song as a one-stick pony. And we also have to talk about that we had experienced this similar rollout back-to-back from other artists. And ironically, I think we can credit Montero Call Me By Your Name for kicking off that trend. Following it, we had Unholy with Sam Smith and Kim Petras.
Oh, I haven't heard of this one.
Doja Cat. This trend of very ordinary songs using religious imagery and the satanic panic as a marketing gimmick. And I say this with...
I really wish that they would kind of lay off of that, just because it's just, again, it is a gimmick. And then also, it's just like, for what purpose? It doesn't, I don't know. Like, what are you trying to get from that? Like, is it outrage? Is it like, rage bait or whatever? But I don't know. What else is the purpose of utilizing those sorts of imageries if it's not even going to be impactful or to get people to like talk about it on a more profound level? I think that it's just, again, why to make people mad.
All respect, Lil Nas X is not exceptionally gifted as a singer, as a writer, as a rapper. He is a creation of his own and internet culture. I really like Industry Baby, I really like Dead Right Now, but I feel like Lil Nas X has always lacked a bit musically. And I really do appreciate how he, as a gay black man, has gone on to infiltrate conservative spaces such as hip-hop and country. I'm actually shocked that Lil Nas X never returned to country, given that it has a dominant presence on the charts. And Shabuzi's A Bar Song, which is now tied with Old Town Road for the longest running #1 hit, is something that Lil Nas X helped pave the way for. Lil Nas X's recent songs are just not very sticky or memorable, but I'm not counting him out yet. He has a few blunders back to back, and it comes across at this current moment in his career like he may have done a little too much too soon and is burnt out creatively. And the whole shock factor thing, we love pop spectacle, we love controversy, But if you're not approaching it from a different angle, if you're not showing growth within your music, if there's not some form of statement, it's a very unsustainable gimmick to build a long-lasting career out of.
Right.
He's complained a few times about not being taken seriously, but you can't have your cake and eat it too, especially when you set that expectation with the egregious amounts of trolling. Lizzo. Lizzo is
Oh.
just a beacon of talent.
Yeah, she's very,
Instrumentalist, singer,
very
songwriter.
talented.
The allegations that have followed her, I think, are very damaging for someone with Lizzo's type.
Former Lizzo dancers were, oh yeah, weight shamed and pressured while at a strip club, and lawsuit says XYZ. I remember this.
That's all about positivity and respecting each other.
Hmm.
I'm not saying Lizzo is guilty one way or the other, but regardless, there's no way around the optics. She doesn't necessarily have that bulletproof bad girl brand. Who knows? Maybe she can develop one. I've always
Maybe.
felt that Lizzo's public persona was a little bit at odds with how her music is. She clearly wants to be a provocateur, but her music is not very provocative at all. Now, don't get me wrong, Lizzo still has some really good songs, such as Juice, Boys, Good as Hell, Water Me, About Damn Time. But she just strikes me as a bit of an edgelord with edgeless music. Just to
Oh.
clarify, there's nothing wrong with good edgeless music. But after all, the edgiest she tried to get was with Rumors, and it sounded like the Ghostbusters theme song. I think Rumors definitely wanted to be a huge cultural moment, but it's just not that interesting. Not that interesting of a song or statement. Especially considering the rumors that followed Lizzo up until that point weren't interesting or even a big part of her lore either. Speaking of uninteresting, Lizzo's fourth album special was...
I think I disagree. It was a big part of her lore because she was, or maybe still is, I don't know, is still very body positivity, and confidence. Like, her music is about confidence, body positivity, loving yourself, self-love, all this stuff, like very like upbeat music. And especially when the controversy about her and her dancers came out, I think that it definitely did amplify her lore because she is a bigger woman in this industry. And we know how the industry is not kind when you don't look like the replicas, okay? Or the people that they mold you or try to mold you to be in order to succeed in this sort of crazy music industry. So I disagree. Like, it definitely did add to her lore and to that song, because it was literally something that she was facing and had been facing. It all went back to body imagery and body issues and whatnot.
It was a total step down from her breakthrough, Cause I Love You. The songs that should be heard are the singles, and I was surprised that To Be Loved didn't become a bigger hit, but the rest of the album just feels smothered in corporate self-help platitudes. It feels like a pandering album to the extreme. The best way I can describe it is, it has a very preachy positivity energy about it, with lyrics that would make a 2013 Katy Perry album smile.
Okay.
Dua Lipa. We have to talk about the Miss Come and Go herself. Prior to Dua's third album, her team had put out statements saying they want her to be the biggest artist in the world. And her third album, Radical Optimism, came to be, at this point, the least successful album of her career, exiting both the US and UK charts in a relatively quick amount of time compared to her previous releases. Future Nostalgia, we all love it. It will go down in history as one of the great pop albums of the decade. Dua Lipa has struggled to make a strong personal brand, and she's spoken about that. In a recent interview, Anderson Cooper asked for her response to critics who say her songs don't have a sense of who she is.
Oh, I love Levitating.
Aren't very personal. And she said, it's something that I just naturally hold back. Some people are just so ruthless with their own private life that they decide to put it all out in a song because they know it's going to attract people's attention. For me, it was always important to make music that people really loved. Not because I was putting someone on blast or because I'm doing it for clickbait.
You want me, I want you, baby. Let's take a boo. Yeah. I want you, moonlight. I want you. I'm levitating. I'm sorry. That was, I was trying to contain the little shimmy, and then I had to get into it. I had to get it. I had to get into it, okay? I couldn't let it go. The itch. I had to satisfy the itch.
At someone else's expense. Which is fair enough, her choice, but I don't think personal songwriting necessarily equates to putting someone on blast. That is a style of personal songwriting that people choose to engage in, but it's not the end all be all of personal
Okay.
songwriting. Artists like The Weeknd, Adele, Lana
Oh, The
Del Rey, Billie
Weeknd.
Eilish,
Yeah,
SZA are just
SZA.
some of the people I'm thinking of who have very personal songwriting, but it doesn't tend to equate to witch hunts and putting someone on blast.
Oh.
Radical Optimism was just okay. In a year of excellent pop, she came with something half-baked and not very
Oh,
interesting.
not
I
half
feel like if you're
baked.
going to do the light-hearted and personal dance thing, then you have to make sure you come with bangers, and that production value is never lost. Think Britney Spears, think Kylie Minogue. Bruno Mars isn't exactly dance music, but he also has a similar angle. I think Dua Lipa is one of those artists that will have listeners as long as the music is good. When the music
Okay.
is not good, no one will be invested. She has had quite a bit of touring success despite the lukewarm critical and commercial reception to the album. In most cases, though,
Jesus.
touring is not representative of current relevancy. As long as you have a repertoire of hits and Dua has many, you can tend to find some touring success. Touring has also been up post pandemic, so her touring success doesn't surprise me. It's interesting that it hasn't transferred over into RL receiving a second win, though. I don't think Dua Lipa will fade into obscurity, but I
I don't think
think
so
the
either.
timing of Future Nostalgia and her growth leading up to that record was remarkable. Unless Dua Lipa comes up with something really interesting for her next release, I think it will remain her only career-defining work. Sabrina Carpenter. Sabrina Carpenter is having her moment in the sun, and I love it. I think she's a breath of fresh air. We are tired of being depressed and moody. However, I think for her next two eras, she will have to expand her shtick a little more, or she will be headed for Katy Perryfication. I hope she doesn't turn into
Really?
a caricature of herself because within the angle that she's operating within, it's easy to fall into that trap. I love that she's vapid and fun, but it's all about a balance in the long run. Billie Eilish, the queen of Gen Z. She is the first music superstar born this century. I think Billie Eilish is an icon. If
She
not an
is.
icon, she's on her way to being one. And I don't care who gets mad. She checks all the boxes.
How would
She's
anybody be mad?
consistent. She has the acclaim. She has a signature sound, which I think is becoming increasingly hard to forge in this day and age. I would like to see Billie work with someone outside of Phineas, and it's not because I think there's anything wrong with their music together. I'm just curious to see what she can do experimenting with other sounds and people, especially after hearing her own guests. Even if it's not a full departure, a few songs with another producer would be cool. Olivia Rodrigo.
I'm sure she does add on other producers with her music, but if that's her comfort space with her brother, then I don't see any problem with it.
Guts convinced me I am an Olivia Rodrigo enthusiast now. Sour to Guts showed tremendous growth, and I loved how she was just very uncompromising in the sonic direction on Guts. Like some songs on Guts just really take it there, lyrically as well, and I think she's just a figure that Gen Z really needs. Chloe and Halle. It goes without saying, they are so much better together. They are. Ungodly Hour was
Oh, I love
immaculate.
Ungodly
Nothing
Hour.
they have done individually comes remotely close. I think they just complement and balance each other's weaknesses.
I love their music together, hands down. I can't stop, won't stop listening. I mean, there's this one song. Hi, I could be a warrior. Yes, I am a warrior. I love that song. And they sung it live. If you have not seen that video of them singing live to I Could Be a Warrior, Yes, I Am a Warrior. Like the riffs, mesmerizing. Ooh, mesmerizing. You heard what I said, but yeah, check them out.
Is out.
Albums.
I need another album. They were building so much momentum too. Tyler. I like
Oh,
Tyler.
Tyler's cute.
I think everything about her is just cute, including her music. She's pleasant, but she doesn't ignite a strong musical reaction.
She's in the beginning
for better
stages.
or for
Crying out
worse.
loud.
I definitely see and hear a lot of potential in her. It's only a matter of consistency and timing. I think she fills a gap left by the reprint, but has something interesting of her own going on as well. Rina Sawayama. I want to at least talk about one of my left field pop girls. Rina Sawayama, her debut EP and debut album was so refreshing. I was taken aback by 2022's Hold the Girl, And it's not even an egregiously
I
bad
don't know this
record,
artist.
but I feel like it does lose a lot of her uniqueness in an attempt to gain mainstream attention. And it is also drenched in Gaga worship. In 2024, Niche has been more rewarded than ever. So I wonder how things would have panned out if she stuck to her guns a little more. On top of that, she has the added layer of alleged label trouble. I just hope she's able to come out with a really good project sometime soon. Hope the girl definitely did not catch the public in the way it was intended to, but Rina is so capable. Tate McRae. I like the idea of Tate McRae, a pop star Britney's ilk for Gen Z. I've seen some people say she's this generation's Britney Spears, and I'm like, no. The Britney influence is definitely there, but I think her angle musically is a bit different. Britney just had undeniable hits right from the beginning. Tate's voice is an acquired taste similar to Britney, but I think they are different types of acquired taste. For instance, Britney's voice stood out in her era of contemporaries. Tate's voice doesn't stick out so much because many people do that understated style of singing and have that nasally tone. It's just her tone is a little polarizing. She has largely captivated people with her dancing and high energy. It's interesting, Tate has really tried on so many different artistic costumes. First it was Billie Eilish, then she went into a pop-punk direction after Olivia Rodrigo. Then she went to the Britney playbook, and I think the dance-centric angle is her strong suit, and it differentiates her much more than the ballad-heavy angle. I thought that Think Later was a very boring release, and also just a bit of a bait and switch because it had like 2 or 3 up-tempos, followed by so many nondescript ballads. She's linked up with Ryan Tedder as her go-to producer, and I think she should link up with a real dance pop and dance R&B producer.
I'm going to stop the video right here, and if you want to see that last little tidbit of his last thoughts, I will link the video down below, so make sure you go and check that out in my description box. But I will say, I definitely agree, the gimmicks, taking religious figures or imagery and trying to like gain some sort of audience off of that, it makes you a very unserious artist, or at least like people can't really take you serious, or at least not as much, because again it is a gimmick, and like it feels like rage bait, like I said earlier. I want to add one more thing. I think that it is completely okay, especially if you are new and a new artist. And that could be ranging from year zero to year 5, year 6. You're still new in the game. You have so much to learn, so much to experience, and then add that into your music, especially if you're a young artist. You have so much to learn, and if you're experimenting and you want to go punk, you want to go R&B, you want to explore, do it, because that's the time to do it, so you can find what really works for you. So I don't see an issue with that, and I also don't see as album sales or you being in top 1 spot on the Billboard records and stuff like that being some sort of like maybe some disapproval of a shitty album or something like that, or a result of a shitty album, I should say. So I don't believe that. I know plenty of artists that are phenomenal, and I don't see them sitting at the top 10 or top 5 in Billboard records, or weekly statistics of, them staying on top or whatever. I don't even see that for them, but they have a huge following. They're loyal. They're... I mean, come on. So yeah, anyways, let me know what you guys thought about this video down below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!